Shukla for bringing out all these 5 series of books to the world community. Second thing, just I wanted to say, I have not gone through the book, but what I gathered from Professor Shukla's contribution to Indian philosophy, specifically, particularly Indian knowledge system, in basically we in Hindi we translate Bharatiya Gyan Parampara, but I beg I'm I have a different translation for this tradition. Even when we are talking about Indian knowledge system, we should be translated into Bharatiya Gyan Mimamsa, because Mimamsa is something different from tradition. Tradition is parampara, that is okay, but Mimamsa is Anyakshiki. If you in Kautilya Sarthashastra, you can find the Trayi, Bharta, and Dandamiti. And Kautilya was referring to Anyakshiki. Because why I said that there is a logic behind this, why I said so. Uh, Anyakshiki is critical thinking, logic, and epistemology. And Darshan is Anyakshiki. I think Professor Shukla and Professor Upadhyay, those are very senior to me, they have a bigger experience than me. They might be agreed with me. Because Pradipa Sarva Vidyanam, that beautifully Sakshat Anyakshiki Mata. That has been beautifully mentioned in our Nyaya Sutra of Gautama. And that's why Parampara is different, Mimamsa is different. And I think Professor Shukla was vehemently giving emphasis on this notion, critical thinking, logic, and epistemology, while depicting the book on Indian knowledge system. Because there are methods, Bada Vitanda, Jalpa, Tarka, Samshaya, Nigrahasthana. And all these methods must be adopted by Professor Shukla in his book. So far as ecological system and the governance that LIK was mentioning, uh, there is a difference between ecology, environment, and Vastu Tantra. I mean, people are talking about like this. There is I mean, environment is a small set in the bigger set in ecology. In ecology, we are talking about troposphere, stratosphere, ionosphere, ozonosphere, everything. But environment is a very small part of that ecological sphere. Mata Bhumi Aham Prithibhya. What a wonderful statement in our Bharatiya Gyan Mimamsa there. I have written a book that recently it was published by Northern Book Center and inaugurated at IIT Bombay in the centenary celebration of Indian Philosophical Congress. The title of the book is Environmental Consciousness in Bharatiya Darshan. Because I find that there is a difference between environmental ethics and environmental consciousness. Environmental ethics comes as an organized discipline after 1960. It was all supported by Russell Carson's Silent Spring. Huh? I mean, it's a historical background. But environmental ethics is a recent development. I mean, after 1960s. But environmental consciousness is very much there in the Vedas and Upanishads. And this is Apaurusaya. Nobody knows. When Isavashyamidam sarvam yat kinchit yagatyam jagatyena tyaktena bhunjita magriddha kashrasundam. When it is said that, when our Rishayaha mantra the star, we say that. When our rishis are mentioning all these things, they don't have any mind. They don't have it in their mind that environmental ethics will be developed after 1960. So I think these are the parts which has been described by Professor Shukla in these books, all these in Bharatiya Gyan Parampara. But I must request Professor Shukla to send me one copy of this book. I'll go through that and I'll have a good review, sir. And I also request anybody from our August gathering to review my book. I will send if somebody is interested. I'll send my book, and I'll be and a review is welcome, and I'll try my level best to publish this review in a standard journal in our country. If somebody is interested. Thank you so much, Sonia ji, and big congratulations to Professor Shukla, and also thank you, Jairu, for initiating this discussion, and thank you everybody.
Thank you,
Thank you.
sir, for your kind words. And I must say, I must congratulate you also for